The State of the City address. We're bringing it to you live from the Mission Memorial Auditorium, and the mayor is taking the stage for his remarks. Let's listen in.
So, thank you, and I sincerely appreciate all of you being here and that incredible welcome. So, this is my third State of the City address since we've been in office for the past 2 years and nearly 3 months. And for all of us, this has been the most extraordinary period of our lives due to COVID's adverse psychological and financial impact on communities everywhere. And most certainly on the people of our island home who have endured the same unprecedented impacts on their lives. For me personally, providing meaningful leadership for the city and county of Honolulu during this time has proved to be the honor and a challenge of a lifetime. However, this has not been an individual leadership challenge. Instead, it is one that requires dedication and hard work from my entire leadership team of extraordinary men and women in our cabinet, and the thousands of dedicated city employees who work and care for our island home. And when I look around this auditorium, I see a room full of people who play vital roles in the successful workings of the city and county of Honolulu. So unfortunately, it's impossible to recognize everyone today in all that you do for Oahu. But I want you to know that if you are in this room, you are here because you are making a meaningful difference. I would be remiss, however, if I did not recognize key leaders with us today. First, Governor Josh Green. And Lieutenant Governor Sylvia Luke. I'm just going to say it publicly, and I'll say it again, that I'm confident you and I and we are going to create a better alignment between the state and the city and county of Honolulu. And I'll speak more to our joint efforts this morning. Chief Justice Mark Reckenwald of the Hawaii Supreme Court, you honor us, sir. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Hawaii State Representative and Speaker of the House, Scott Saiki. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Scott. It means a lot. And to our distinguished governors, former governors, Governor George Ariyoshi, Governor John Waie, and Governor Neil Abercrombie, thank you, thank you. Thank you for your leadership and your sage advice. And to Governor Ariyoshi, who turned 97 years young on Sunday, happy birthday. And happy birthday, and God bless you, sir. God bless you. All right, and to our former mayors, Mufi Hanneman and Kirk Caldwell. Thank you for your past service and your commitment to Oahu. I really appreciate the fact that you two guys are here this morning. And to former Congresswoman and Chair of the Heart Board, Colleen Hanabusa. My most sincere mahalo, Colleen, for your leadership and unwavering commitment to public service. And to our U.S. military partners, represented today by General Charles Flynn, Commanding General, U.S. Army Pacific. Major General Mark Hashimoto, U.S. Marine Corps Mobilization Assistant to the Commander, U.S. Indo-PACOM. Colonel Spiros Kaplarakis, Commander, Marine Corps Base Hawaii. And Colonel Stephen McGonigal, Commander, U.S. Army Garrison. Along with their guests and representatives, our sincere appreciation for your service to our country, to Hawaii, and for being here today. Thank you, it means a great deal. To Director General Lin of Taipei. Consul General Hong of Korea. Consul General Fernandez of the Philippines. And Consul General Mike Ketchen of New Zealand. Thank you for being here. Well, okay. So I take it you're representing Mike today, but thank you for being here anyway. Also, lastly, a special mahalo to Jackie Conan here today, representing Congressman Ed Case. And to Kendra Oishi, representing Congresswoman Jill Takuda. Thank you for being here. I just want to give a quick shout out to Dennis Francis, publisher of the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. It means a lot to have you in the audience today. I sincerely appreciate you being with us. And finally, to the members of the Honolulu Youth Commission, you are the future of Honolulu and the reason we all labor and work so hard to improve our island home. To Chair Daniel Pruder and the other members with us today, please stand up and be recognized. I also want to take a minute to give special recognition to the elected members of our Honolulu City Council, the most important partners to our administration. So as I call your name, please stand and be recognized. First, Chair Tommy Waters, Council District 4. Tommy. Tommy, I want to thank you for your willingness to work collaboratively with our team and for your leadership of the council. While we may not always agree, I have great respect for the tremendous responsibility you hold as council chair and a deep appreciation for your dedication to serve. And I really sincerely mean that, Tommy. I really do. Okay? Council Vice Chair Esther Kia Aina, representing District 3. Your passion to serve is truly infectious. I'm humbled by your preparation and your knowledge on every topic and your tenacity to making things happen. Thank you, Esther. Budget Chair, Radiant Cordero, Council District 7. Congratulations on your new and very important leadership role in the council, and thank you for taking that new challenge head on last week during our budget hearings. Very much appreciated. Council Member Calvin Say, representing Council District 5. Calvin, thank you for your invaluable ongoing guidance and coaching. Your excellent work as budget chair the past 2 years helped us tremendously, and we look forward to working with you as the chair of the Committee on Zoning. Council Member Andrea Topola, Council District 1. Your relentless work ethic, your determination, and your ability to provide and execute new ideas to best serve the people of your district is really, truly inspiring. You lead with grit and dedication. And your Restore, Reconnect, and Revive program for the homeless on the Waianae Coast is truly making a remarkable difference. Bravo to you. Council Member Augie Talba of Council District 9. Clearly, Augie, your heart and soul are in the right place when it comes to serving the district. And I'm personally very grateful and very proud of you and your daughter, Mahealani, for your courageous leadership on Bill 52, the anti-bullying legislation we signed into law just last month. And to the 3 newest council members, just briefly, Val Okimoto, please stand, from District 8. Matt Wire of District 2. And Tyler Dos Santos Tam from District 6. Once again, to the 3 of you, welcome to the Honolulu City Council. Now, I speak for our entire team in saying that we are thrilled to be working with each and every one of you. Finally, I want to acknowledge our cabinet leadership team, as well as a few other people who have contributed so much to our success this past year. Please know if you and your department are not mentioned today during my remarks, it's only because of time limitations. In no way reflects on the importance or the significance of your leadership and what you and your teams are accomplishing each and every day. But to the following individuals, please know I could not be more proud and grateful for all that you do and the intelligence and humanity you bring each and every day. To our Managing Director, Mike Formby. To our Deputy Managing Director, Krishna Jairam. To our Corporation Counsel, Dana Viola. To Andy Kawano, our Director of Budget and Fiscal Services. To Sam Moku, my Chief of Staff. Communications Director, Scott Humber. Deputy Communications Director, Ian Shuring, and my Executive Assistant, Ms. Lisa Chun, right here. Our weekly meetings and your many selfless contributions each and every day have been valuable and inspiring to me. Thank you. And to my three children who are not here, Matt, Laura, and Ryan, I couldn't be more proud of the men and the women that you've become. And lastly, to the love of my life, Karen. Okay? Thank you for your sacrifice, understanding, encouragement, and unwavering support on taking on the many challenges that being married to the mayor has created for you. I almost have to laugh about that, but I just want you to know, baby, your love means everything to me. Thank you. All right. Okay, now that we got that done, if I didn't introduce you, I'm still grateful you're here today, okay? I want to start today with a favorite quote of mine from Daniel Burnham, one of America's great architects and urban designers. Make no little plans. They have no magic to stir men's blood. My mission in becoming mayor was clearly focused on problem solving and building trust and confidence in our local government by taking significant action against long-standing problems facing the city and county of Honolulu. 2+ years into the job, I remain more committed than ever. And to quote Daniel Burnham, I assure you, me and my team are making no little plans. Early on in office, we were most fortunate to be selected to the Bloomberg-Harvard City Leadership Initiative, a cohort of 40 mayors from 23 U.S. cities with a balance from 11 countries spanning 4 continents. This was a tremendous learning experience for me personally, and one that I shared widely with our entire team. The rigorous year-long program afforded us a local, national, and global perspective on the complex and obstinate problems that mayors, as well as their leadership teams around the world, encounter in municipal government. Several of our Bloomberg-Harvard professors spoke of the intractable challenges facing municipal governments, referring to them as wicked problems. Wicked problems, a term that has been used in academia since the mid-1970s. Wicked problems threaten the vitality of communities everywhere, and they persist despite countless attempts to resolve them. Their structure is contradictory and ever-changing. And above all, they are long-standing issues for which the public has grown weary and has little to no tolerance. These problems require city leaders to develop their teams with an evolving vision and discipline to problem solving. That discipline, which our city's leadership course referred to as execution as learning, requires intensive cross-sector collaboration, a sharing of expertise and knowledge, an adaptive vision, and an approach where safe spaces to express opinions and take risks are precisely that. But most of all, a willingness to embrace change and innovation, to create new ideas discovered by tapping into the intellectual capital of your team. For wicked problems, there are no blueprints or conventional plans. You must be willing to embrace innovation. And you must be willing to experiment, take risk, test your thinking, learn from your experience, and then re-execute. When we came into office, we had our fair share of wicked problems, and we approached every one of them with the same methodology. We challenged our team to think big, collaborate, take advantage of each other's knowledge and expertise. We needed first and foremost to evaluate the work that had already been done in the past and to fully understand the problems we were facing before proposing solutions. We needed to take more risk and innovate new approaches to problem solving. This process works. It is much more sophisticated than simply learning as you go. It's about execution based on knowledge, risk-taking, and innovation. Today, instead of what we would call a traditional State of the City address, I want to spend our time sharing with you Honolulu's top wicked problems, how our team has operated in our approach to solving them and the significant results we have achieved thus far. Let me have some water. First, our lack of affordable housing and homelessness. Two related but distinctly different wicked problems and top priorities for both the state and our administration especially. When we came to office, we assumed an Office of Housing with only 2 staff members, both of whom were principally focused on homelessness. It was clear to us early on that the city's housing program had been fragmented since at least 1997, when the troubled Department of Housing and Community Development was disbanded. And even though the Office of Housing was created in 2011, in an attempt to reunify those efforts, it was never funded or staffed at the level that was necessary to independently execute a formidable housing program without the assistance of other departments. We knew that operational structure could no longer remain the status quo. So we formed an affordable housing working group co-chaired by Mike Formby and myself, where all city departments that touch affordable housing meet weekly to drive execution on city affordable housing policies, programs, and projects. Now, this created cross-sector collaboration that was desperately needed. And we began by inviting developers, nonprofits, affordable housing experts, and stakeholders to these meetings to help us better understand the history and complexity of our housing shortage. We wanted answers to the following questions. What were the obstacles getting in our way? What could we do to optimize the city's role in creating new housing and rehabilitating existing housing? Where could we create opportunities for innovation? And how could we make a meaningful difference? Our answers to those questions led to the creation of several new programs. First, we developed a bill to incentivize small lot owners to build affordable housing projects throughout our communities, especially in the urban core. Bill 1, which was our administration's first piece of legislation, provides financial incentives after housing units have been constructed and are ready for occupancy. We now have 1 completed, 5 under construction, 3 with permits in hand, and momentum is growing because we have more than 30 projects and counting in the pipeline today. And to further incentivize affordable housing development on small lots, Governor Green has proposed matching $10 million to our city funds. Governor, your proposal has exceptional potential to stimulate additional small lot construction. Thank you. Second, for the first time in 25 years, our administration reestablished a municipal private activity bond program to help fund the rehabilitation and development of affordable housing units on Oahu. Now, despite not having a handbook or administrative rules, we not only stood up the program in 18 months, but this past December, selected 2 projects in Chinatown and Waipahu with over 500 affordable housing units. And those units will now be rehabilitated and their affordability status extended for the next 60 years as a direct result of our PAB program. And this is only just the beginning because of the potential impact of this program with developers on a going forward basis. And none of this would have been possible without the excellent work of our Affordable Housing Working Group, led by the Bond Program Knowledge of Corporation Counsel, under the tireless leadership of Dana Viola, and the addition of Craig Harai, the former State Budget and Finance Director and former HHFDC Executive Director. Craig has been instrumental in helping us work closely with HHFDC so that we smartly align city and state funding with our many affordable housing projects. And at the same time, our Affordable Housing Working Group was standing up new programs. We're also driving execution on existing affordable housing projects, some of which were started under Mayor Caldwell, but were completed in 2022. They include West Lock Modular, 57 units fully rented. Harbor Arms in Pearl City, 30 units fully rented. Hale Vaiolu, a long overdue and much needed affordable housing project for seniors in Chinatown that broke ground last June, creating 155 units that will open this fall. And we also want to offer, in that regard, a very special mahalo to the Michaels organization for their unwavering commitment to seeing this project become a reality. Verona Village, where we are now finalizing completion of all preconditions to development. This is a commitment that was 30 years in the making, and the first step in redeveloping this historic Ever Villages community into a promised affordable housing community of 140 homes. Delight Bakery, a Dillingham property that was also purchased in 2019 by Mayor Caldwell, that we will transform into an affordable housing project along the rail line. Mahalo Mai, just last week I had the honor of joining Governor Linda Lingle. I'm sorry he's not here this morning. She called in, wasn't able to make it. And members of the Women's Prison Project to formally open doors on the city's permanent supportive housing project for justice-involved women who are transitioning back into society. And I can assure you, this 24-unit project would never have happened but for the vision and persistence of Governor Lingle. So congratulations, Governor. She's not here, but as well as to the members of the Women's Prison Project and the many benefactors and supporters who made this project a reality. Last year, we acquired the Waikiki Vista, a former university dormitory, for $37.75 million. It's the city's largest affordable housing acquisition ever. It will bring over 100 affordable rental units to the market within walking distance of Waikiki. 1615 Alawai, the city initiated condemnation against this long neglected building in Waikiki, and we are currently planning a senior affordable housing project there with 40 to 60 units. The Kunia Boxcar Lot, located on a prime 5-acre city parcel in rural Kunia. We're now ready to engage the community with early concept plans for a proposed 200-plus unit affordable rental complex. And our vision includes a much-needed community child care center, along with a park and ride for easy connections to bus and rail. In Waiava, the city is underway with site assessment on a city-owned property near the Pearl Highlands Rail Station for a potential transit-oriented affordable housing development. The city is also in due diligence on 2 additional properties, one in Ever Beach, totaling 100 units, and a 4-acre parcel in Wai'iwalei, with extraordinary potential for a proposed development of an iconic TOD complex with the potential for more than 1,000 affordable housing units, as well as commercial, mixed-use retail, and a park and ride for rail. In addition to these many projects, our Affordable Housing Working Group is aggressively pursuing other important policy positions and to further facilitate the city's role in creating affordable housing. For example, for the first time, the city has proposed millions of dollars for regional infrastructure planning for the construction of affordable housing in West Oahu, Halava, and Iwalei. Our goal is to identify infrastructure capacity, its cost, and schedule constraints which will allow the city and the state to forecast projects based on the scalable development of affordable housing. In other words, we want to show that when you commit to infrastructure first, that affordable housing can and will follow. As we stated at the outset, affordable housing is only one half of what we would describe as the city's most wicked problem. Homelessness has plagued our city for years, for decades. And when we took office, we knew our approach to handling the homeless crisis needed systemic change. Thanks to the vision and leadership of Anton Krucke, our core program was established based on successful models in Denver, Houston, and Eugene, Oregon. CORE's mission is to engage and improve the quality of life for all people on the streets through compassion, empathy, and professionalism. Based in Chinatown, CORE today employs a team of 30 people, led by the unrelenting force of Dr. Jim Ireland, that consists today of 2 program managers, 4 supervisors, 7 community health workers, 1 physician, 2 nurses, 11 EMTs, and 3 support staff, providing most of their care on the streets, in parks, and anywhere homeless individuals can be found. Now, the team utilizes 3 repurposed ambulances and 3 SUVs to engage those in need. And this year, our goal is to hire an additional 20 people, bringing the total to 50, and to increase the core fleet to 4 ambulances and 4 SUVs, increasing our capabilities island-wide. Dealing with homelessness is no small challenge for CORE. But as I've repeatedly said, a street is not a home, not for anyone, and especially not for children. Candidly, it is my strong belief that it is our moral responsibility to take this challenge head on. So following CORE's first full year of operation, the program helped house nearly 300 people. They treated over 1,000 people in crisis, providing a continuum of care to homeless individuals that was historically handled by HPD, as well as EMS and our hospital emergency rooms. What CORE does best is get the right resources to the right people on the street. We believe CORE is a game changer, given the existing collaboration and synergy between the city and county of Honolulu, the state of Hawaii, and our exemplary nonprofit partners. But what we need now are more facilities so that CORE can take people experiencing homelessness off the streets and provide them with medical triage and treatment and put them into permanent supportive housing. Now, the great unrealized opportunity in front of us is that the city can provide properties already in its inventory. If the state would be willing to commit to providing the critical wraparound services that are absolutely essential. Governor Green, I think this is an incredible and unprecedented opportunity for us to combine our resources and make great things happen. We can collaborate on our collective goal of helping as many people in our community as possible. Good. We also believe that our Affordable Housing Working Group and the birth of the CORE program are shining examples of solving very complicated problems. However, we can do more. So, what if we address the real issues head on and consider organizing government to respect our people's priorities? What if we acknowledge that while it might have been prudent in 1998 to disband the city's troubled Department of Housing and Community Development, it simply no longer makes sense, given the unmet demand for affordable housing over the last 25 years. We don't need to conduct a survey of the people to know that affordable housing is a burning priority. Far too many of our neighbors are voting with their feet, leaving Hawaii because they cannot afford to raise their families here. And this is not a whimper or a cry for help. This is a primal scream. So today, I'm making several significant announcements out of respect and concern for the people of Oahu. First, and this announcement comes with the blessing of Governor Green, the city is naming Denise Iseri Matsubara, who is joining us here today as our new Executive Director for the Office of Housing and Homelessness. Denise, I'm going to come back to you. Denise is currently the Executive Director of HHFDC, where she is leaving behind a well-tooled and highly skilled agency of more than 60 housing specialists to take ownership of this critical assignment for the city. And we're counting on Denise to align our affordable housing and our homeless programs with HHFDC, as well as with the statewide Office on Homelessness and Housing Solutions. No longer will the city and state work in silos on 2 major crises that affect our people and our businesses. So Denise, will you please stand and be recognized? So in addition to taking over leadership of the Office of Housing and of our Affordable Housing Working Group, I've assigned Denise one critical task in particular. Under the charter of the City and County of Honolulu, the mayor, and only the mayor, may propose changes to the duties and functions of our city departments. So today, I'm exercising my authority under charter to start the study for a potential reorganization of the city's housing and homelessness programs, reflecting the people's priorities. Denise will lead this effort and provide a report for our team by this time next year. This is no small endeavor. If we need to reorganize our city government to align our city resources with the people's priorities, I want to do it broadly, especially when you consider additional issues like affordable housing funding mechanisms and 201H policies. Talented leaders like Denise and Craig Harai have the expertise to help us enact systemic change that serves the people. And I want to do it on my watch. Now, look, all of our plans and all of our initiatives in the realms of housing and homelessness are inherently dependent on the third of our so-called wicked problems. And quite honestly, the one that keeps me up at night. The Department of Planning and Permitting, back in 1998, when DPP was formed by consolidating the Building Department, the Department of Land Utilization, and the Department of General Planning, the city issued nearly 14,000 permits with a total construction value of $796 million. Last year, DPP issued just over 14,000 building permits out of 20,000 applications filed for a total value of over $2.5 billion. So in 24 years, the total number of permits being approved in a calendar year has only seen a minimal increase. But the value of those permits, accounting for inflation, has gone up more than $1 billion, an increase of roughly 75%. Now, clearly, the dramatic increase in project valuation, along with changing code requirements, have extended plan review times. And there is no denying the far-reaching impacts those delays have on our economy, on construction, and on our transition to clean energy, especially in the solar industry. That in mind, we are more determined than ever to fix an antiquated and broken permitting system from within. We've invested 2 years in a top-down master plan approach to understand how permitting and planning get done in the city and county of Honolulu. The first thing we discovered is that we could capitalize on the good, smart people already working in the department. In September, we made a significant change in leadership and leadership style by promoting Don Takeuchi Apuna from within to lead DPP. And we also brought back Jiro Samada as deputy director, a man with significant experience in DPP and in other senior leadership roles. Now, Don and Jiro understand the myriad problems the department faces, but also the myriad solutions that are available to them, including new technologies, streamlined workflow processes, and most importantly, increasing much-needed qualified personnel. But we cannot wait for these improvements to fall into place. Instead, we must constantly seek innovative ideas to improve DPP service to the public now. To that end, DPP has formed and begun working with 3 task force groups specifically focused on the following areas: permitting process improvements, affordable housing, and the solar industry. Collaborating with industry leaders, including developers, construction companies, architects, engineers, the Building Industry Association, the General Contractors Association, plus others, DPP is engaging in meaningful dialogue on long-standing challenges to the permitting process with a determination to find near, mid, and long-term solutions. Now, these conversations will continue as DPP works to decrease the average permit time from the painful, unacceptable average of 300+ days that commercial and residential projects currently endure. The department recently implemented the use of artificial intelligence, or a bot, to pre-screen building plans for common errors that slow the review process, and that's having an immediate positive impact. The bot has already reduced the average wait time for pre-screening from an average of 5 months to an average of 5 weeks. And we believe the bot can cut that time down even more. So this has given our staff more time to review plans, but it's also given DPP more time to educate the industry on how to submit plans that won't get held up or delayed. DPP's new and dramatically improved website has simplified the search for permitting resources, helping design professionals obtain up-to-date information about topics like building plan formatting. And that, in turn, is making for smoother, more efficient processing and significantly shorter wait times. As capacity is built and processes are redesigned, we know we still need to let go of unnecessary regulations and processes that simply no longer work. With that in mind, DPP recently introduced Bill 6, related to self-certification, a critical concept that the building and development industry has long requested. If passed, Bill 6 will expand the department's authority to allow building permit applications to be reviewed outside of the department by qualified and approved licensed professionals. The bill calls for an expanded self-certification program. Say it again. This bill calls for an expanded self-certification program established through administrative rules and professional training, where licensed engineers and architects will be able to self-certify their plans for permit approval. Through additional legislation, DPP also intends to open up special assignment inspections, or SAIs, for residential projects. This will allow construction on certain residential properties to occur while permits are being processed, like it currently does on some commercial projects, rather than waiting until building permits have been issued. The reality is that DPP, the building permit process, is just one of many complex functions of a very large department, covering a wide range of core services, including the regulation of short-term vacation rentals, enforcement actions, affordable housing, transit-oriented development, zoning, land use, plan and project reviews, inspections, historic preservation, and many other issues affecting communities across the city and county. So if efficient permitting is a priority of our people and businesses, then we must consider whether the Department of Planning and Permitting should continue as one department. This is a tough call, but we must continue to explore innovative ideas and be open to the possibility of further systemic change. And for that reason, I am calling on Don and Giro, the former team who studied the most efficient structure of the Department of Planning and Permitting. We should do a survey of the best practices in municipalities of our size, looking at departments that are combined as we are currently structured, as well as departments that are completely separate, planning and permitting. And I'm asking them to present their findings to me no later than the end of this year. So if we need to rechart our course and look at additional systemic change, I want to do that sooner rather than later. So Don and Giro, thank you for taking on this additional task, as if you don't have enough to do already. You know, we're all genuinely excited about the future of DPP. I want to make that really clear, and what a fully functional DPP will mean for the city and county of Honolulu and our island economy. Sip of water. When we took office, there was no single issue that had been more consistently and passionately raised by voters than rail, and what was then a historically troubled project. It was a long-standing front-page issue in the media, and there were frequent calls to abandon the project or stop it at Middle Street, well short of downtown Honolulu, which was, for me, a non-starter. The rail presented an immediate challenge to my leadership responsibilities and obligations as mayor. Fortunately, as the saying goes, within every challenge lies an even greater opportunity. We were positioned to take advantage of a critical moment in time, following a failed P3 and changes in leadership at HART and the Federal Transit Administration in Washington. So we seized that opportunity to unite the mayor's office with HART's leadership and the HART board. Along with Executive Director Lori Kaikina, a highly skilled and accomplished engineer, and former Congresswoman Colleen Hanabusa, my first appointee to the HART board, who quickly was elected and unanimously became board chair, we created a cohesive working group with a commitment to regaining the trust and confidence of the FTA. The key to our approach was a paradigm shift. Instead of telling the FTA what we could not do, we told the FTA what we were committed to do by offering a new recovery plan and also a new set of financial numbers. We turned what had been a historically negative conversation into a positive one, and the FTA agreed. We began collaborating weekly with key stakeholders to painstakingly scrub the project's financial numbers, knowing we had a responsibility to deliver a fiscally constrained but functionally sound rail system to our residents. Ultimately, our numbers supported a system that would run from East Kapolei to Civic Center and Kaka'ako, and HOT submitted their recovery plan last June. And the FDA approved that recovery plan less than 4 months later, setting forth a process by which the FTA and the city could move forward together to amend the FFGA and trigger the release of $744 million that the FTA had long withheld from the city since 2017. So standing here today, I'm immensely proud of Lori Kaikina, Rick Keene, Colleen Hanabusa for their leadership. Really great leadership, as well as the hard board and staff. And I'm also equally appreciative of the City Council for approving the 2022 recovery plan. Thank you. We needed you guys to do that. I would be remiss if I did not thank also the FDA, specifically FTA Administrator Nuria Fernandez and her team for allowing us to craft an innovative solution to this wicked problem. So now, as we embrace the challenge embodied in building the toughest segment of rail through the airport, down Dillingham Boulevard, and through the downtown corridor, we are ready for riders to embrace rail. Our long-awaited rail system is scheduled to commence interim operations in July. With service from East Kapolei, thank you. With service from East Kapolei to Aloha Stadium, and not only that, we are on schedule to get to Middle Street by the summer of 2025, providing ridership past Pearl Harbor and through the Daniel K. Inouye International Airport, 2 of the 3 largest employment centers. As excited as we are to welcome riders aboard, our focus now is no longer just about opening the rail line. It's about finding innovative ways to seamlessly connect the most transformative infrastructure project of this generation with the best public transportation system in the entire country. On day 1, we'll connect rail riders from West Oahu with their destinations further east by meeting every train in Halava just 20 minutes after it leaves Kapolei, with express bus service that takes riders downtown and to UH Manoa. Our rail riders will bypass congestion on the freeway, where traveling the same distance can take an hour or more on even the best of days. As we prepare to expand our transit options, the Department of Transportation Service is investing heavily in our infrastructure. We will use existing funding resources this year to secure 39 new electric buses to pair with the 17 already on our roads, and with the goal to convert our entire fleet to electric over the next 15 years. These buses are quieter, they're cooler, they're 100% emission-free, and 5 times more efficient in terms of mileage output. Okay? Now, whether you ride public transportation every day or not, the city is also investing in smarter, safer roadways. In cooperation with our partners at the state, the city is now embarking on a long overdue program to upgrade all of our traffic signals island-wide, to provide better, I heard the moans right there, to provide, we know, I drive in the same traffic, to provide better traffic, flow-through synchronization, and traffic detection. And we're also expanding our traffic camera network. You know, for years, I watched as my former traffic reporters try to track accidents or lane closures on the Leeward Coast using traffic cameras that only went so far as Honolulu. Not anymore. This year, we'll kick off a project to install new traffic cameras and connected traffic signals from Kapolei all the way to Makaha, providing providing an incredible new resource to Leawood residents who already spend more time in traffic than almost anyone else. And that's not all. In working collaboratively with our IT department, we decided to think bigger, because the broadband infrastructure we need to bring that camera network online can serve an even greater good. So as part of this expansion program, since we will already be installing new network capabilities, we're announcing today a plan to provide free Wi-Fi in city parks and beach parks up and down the Waianae coast. Broadband internet drives everything, from education to healthcare to commerce. Expanding internet access for the public is part of a separate infrastructure problem. Delivers a timely key message about our evolving vision as a team when it comes to problem solving. Now, as important as our approach to transit and transportation infrastructure might be, we are operating with an even greater sense of urgency when it comes to the evolution of our approach to public safety. As mayor, I have felt no greater responsibility than to protect our residents from harm. I strongly believe in meaningful consequences for bad behavior, because without consequences, it has been proven bad behavior and criminal acts proliferate. Unfortunately, there are far too many habitual criminals on our streets who have been arrested many times, well known to HPD, well known to the prosecutor's office, and also well known to the judiciary. Individually, our systems see these repeat offenders over and over and over again. But for far too long, information held by one arm of our justice system isn't openly shared with others. We need to embrace a system-level criminal justice approach where all components of our law enforcement system share data so they can work together and connect with each other on what works and what doesn't work. Now, Prosecutor Steve Arm has been a champion for getting tough on crime, and Chief Justice Mark Rectenwald has given us unprecedented access to his office and his circuit and district court judges to better understand and share their concerns about the judiciary process and their role in criminal justice. These open conversations are leading to improvements in a criminal justice system that crosses many departments, branches, and agencies at the state and county levels. And just this year, as part of the city's legislative package, we introduced House Bill 100 and its Senate counterpart, Bill 210. These bills acknowledge that the state and counties lack a common repository for tracking data related to the criminal justice system. The bills would establish a data sharing working group which would make recommendations for a statewide criminal justice repository to facilitate better cooperation among our criminal justice agencies. You know, frankly, it's amazing we've gone on this long without sharing criminal justice data. Now, I appreciate the legislature hearing our bills, and I look forward to working with them, Speaker Psyche and President Kochi, on these important measures. I cannot stress enough how much we need your cooperation. Look, I have absolutely no interest in our criminal justice system overstepping the law or infringing on the rights of our citizens. That's not who I am at all. But what I am about is a unified system that has zero tolerance for criminal acts that threaten the well-being and physical safety of our law-abiding citizens. And on that, you can count. And that's why I believe strongly in the leadership of our Chief of Police, Joe Logan, and that of our deputy and assistant chiefs, as well as the capability of our incredible police officers. You know, but it's no secret, we need more of them on our streets. We need to add 50 new uniformed officers before the end of June and 120 in the next fiscal year, because we all know that with a well-staffed and well-trained police department, a prosecutor like Steve Arm, and a judicial system that believes in the strong but fair enforcement of the law, our neighborhoods will be safer and our communities stronger than ever before. Law enforcement is only one element of our city's holistic approach to public safety, and it represents only some of the challenges our city faces in the context of protecting our people. For example, I don't think the public is generally aware of the record-setting call volume for emergency medical services, but the numbers are staggering, and they continue to rise post-pandemic. Our EMS team received nearly 130,000 911 calls last year, and crews responded to more than 85,000 medical emergencies, all with a city fleet of just 21 full-time EMS units. So in simple math, EMS responded to an astonishing 235 calls per day. 235 calls per day. These increases in call volumes and medical responses are putting an incredible strain on our resources, the most important of which are our colleagues, our EMTs, paramedics, and dispatchers. Recently, I had an incredible opportunity to meet with 5 senior EMS personnel in my office to learn more about their concerns, valid concerns, which included the stress of their jobs, given the high call volume, and the departure of skilled co-workers to high-paying medical jobs outside of the city. At the end of the meeting, I asked them, if conditions are this stressful, what keeps you in your job? And each of them looked at me in the eyes and said, we love what we do. Now that's dedication, humbling dedication in the face of incredible adversity. So bottom line, the city needs to expand our EMS coverage across the island. And we're starting with 48 new EMTs who will be entering into the Recruit Academy this coming July. We will soon add 2 new ambulance units in the urban core, as well as a new joint ocean safety and EMS station in Kaka'ako. And we also budgeted for 8 new ambulances in the coming year, in addition to the 4 we just added last year. And so I extend my most heartfelt appreciation to our entire EMS team for their frontline service during these most difficult times. My most sincere mahalo. Great job. But EMS compromises only half of our emergency services department. And let me just say up front, one thing is certain. Honolulu's ocean safety team has the best watermen and women in the world, bar none. And as it turns out, they also have some of the best surfers in the world, too. So we're thrilled to be joined here today by Ocean Safety Lifeguard and the winner of the highly prestigious 2023 Eddie Aikau Big Wave Invitational, Luke Shepardson. Luke. You know, Luke, they told me they were going to put together a little video, and I didn't know what was going to be in it, but I said one thing, boy, I wish you could put Luke Shepardson in there. That was a great moment, you know, and congratulations to you. And, you know, and so let me just say, the only thing more awe-inspiring about this guy than what he accomplished in the 50-foot surf at the Eddy might be his willingness to rush into those same waves, 50 feet, to rescue those whose lives are in danger. It's really extraordinary. But like with EMS, providing a steady and watchful eye on our beaches has pushed our lifeguards beyond their resource capacity. Several years ago, the city expanded ocean safety's response hours for emergencies that arise along our shores from dawn to dusk. Now, with more than 40 towers on 227 miles of coastline, and given their immense responsibility to keep beachgoers safe, our ocean safety officers need more staff and better facilities. I'm looking at you, Jim. In our budget this year, we are committing to increasing the number of lifeguards we have across our island. But it's also time to take a deeper look and seriously consider whether EMS and ocean safety would be better served as independent first responder departments. Yeah. You know, we've said it twice already this morning. If the well-reasoned solution to a long-standing problem involves the reorganizing of our government to better reflect the priorities of our people, then that's a challenge we will face head-on. So today, I'm announcing the creation of a task force between EMS and Ocean Safety to study whether the people of the city and county of Honolulu and visitors to Oahu would be better and more efficiently served by having separate departments for emergency medical services and ocean safety. So we need to analyze the pros and cons, best practices around the world, no question, and the potential fiscal implications of any such reorganization. But we will do so, and we will start this immediately. Okay? And like the other first responder agencies, the Honolulu Fire Department is strong today because of its excellent leadership and our dedicated and brave firefighters. But there are looming challenges ahead. While every new residential high-rise in our urban core may help reduce our housing shortage, it makes the job of our firefighters even more difficult and pushes them and their limits even more. So my goal as mayor is to continue providing the highest level of support to the high-performing operations of our first responders and to work closely with their leadership to improve employee morale, but more importantly, to strengthen these departments in every way possible to ensure that our communities all across the city and county of Honolulu are deservedly safe from harm. Okay, thank you. Now, our communities also deserve to feel heard, especially when it comes to persistent issues plaguing city government for years. So to our residents on the west side, let me say that you have been heard clearly on one topic in particular. And under my watch, the site of the next landfill for the city and county of Honolulu will not be on the Waianae coast. Let me repeat that, not on the Waianae coast. Okay? And while we're at it, to Ernie Lau and the hardworking men and women at the Board of Water Supply, if I have it my way, the site of our next landfill will not be over an aquifer either. And let me just say one thing. You know, the Red Hill topic is a very complex and big topic, and we debated this today with time limitations to include it. But let me just say briefly about something that's been a big topic in our lives this past year. That, Ernie, we have every confidence in your ability and your team to work closely with the military, and that somehow, some way, when all is said and done, this problem and everything around it will get fixed. Thank you, Ernie. Thank you, guys. Okay. So citing a new landfill doesn't mean that's going to become easy. And make no mistake,